what's up guys? John McLennan here, and in today's lesson I'm going to teach you how to play Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur. We're going to use 4 chords in this song, and we're going to put a capo on the 3rd fret. If you don't have a capo, you can play it without. It's just going to be in a slightly lower key. If you want to play along with the original song, put your capo on the 3rd fret. I'm going to break down all the chords and the picking patterns for the whole song, but before we get into it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. You're getting this information completely for free, so I appreciate your support in doing that, and leave a comment below. It really helps out for the YouTube algorithm. All right, let's get into the lesson. Let me break down the chords for you. We have a 4-bar progression that repeats for the entire song, which is typical of so many pop songs, just 4 bars. The first bar is a bar of G, and we're gonna be finger picking, so I'm not using a pick, just using my fingers. And the G chord that I'm gonna play is this 2-finger G chord. We're gonna put our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. And then that finger is gonna kind of arc over and mute the string right underneath it, the A string. We're gonna play an open D, an open G, and we'll put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then we're gonna mute the high E string. It's gonna sound like this. And you're gonna find as we go through the picking, we're gonna edit these chords a little bit, but we'll start off with this G shape. So that's gonna last for the first bar. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna go to a D shape. And we're gonna play the open D string, 1st finger on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. You may know your typical D shape here. We're just gonna use 2 fingers. So it's like a D5 chord. So just 3 strings there, open, 2, 3. Then we're gonna go to E minor 7, and you can play this chord like your typical E minor, all 6 strings. We're gonna play open, 2, 2, open, and we're gonna add our pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string and then open E. This is E minor 7. Now when I play this chord, a lot of times I just use 1 finger to cover both of these notes, so it may look like that in the song, or you can do it this way. And the last chord is C. We're gonna play this chord from the A string down. We'll use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, open G, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, and open E. This is C. So each chord is gonna last for 4 counts. Let's just try playing those as whole notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, then D, 2, 3, 4, then E minor 7, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2. We'll do it one more time just for practice. 3, 4 to D, 2, 3, 4, E minor 7, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. So if the finger picking is too much for you, you could always just strum through those chords as well. That's the chord progression for the whole song. Okay, let's break down the picking bar by bar. We're gonna start out on the G chord, and we're gonna play this note for note. We're gonna start out with our thumb, really with my finger picking hand. I'm using my thumb, my index, and my middle, just 3 fingers. We'll put the thumb on the low E string. We'll play that note, and then we're gonna do a pinch on the G and the B strings with our index and middle finger. So it's gonna go thumb, pinch. And the rhythm is 1 E and a. It's a dotted 8th note and then a 16th note, 1 E and a. Then we're gonna rest after that. So we'll take our fretting hand, we'll cover the strings like this, and I'll also drop my fingers back on the strings and touch them just to mute. So right after that pinch, you're gonna mute like this. See how I just rested there? And then we're gonna edit. Remember I said we were gonna edit the chords a little bit? So we're gonna take our 3rd finger off of the G and now just play a 1-finger G chord. We're gonna pinch the low E string with our thumb and then the G and the B strings all together with the index and middle. So it goes 1 E and a 2 and 3. Then we'll finish off the pattern with thumb on the low E string, index on the G string, and then back to the thumb on the low E. So the pattern altogether is 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're going to do a similar pattern through all the chords. Here it is one more time on G. Next, we're going to go to D and play this. We'll play the D string first this time. We'll hit that root note, and then we'll do a pinch on the G and the B strings with our 2 fingers on the D chord, the shape we learned a second ago. Then we're going to edit it. We're going to lift up our 3rd finger again and get an open string. So now we'll be playing just a 1-finger D chord. This is like a D6 chord. And we'll pinch the D, the G, and the B strings there. Then we're going to go thumb, index, thumb on the strings D, G, D. So this measure sounds like this. So it's very similar to what we just did on the G chord. Here's those 2 measures together. Next up, E minor 7. We're going to play this. Again, a similar thing to what we did on the G chord. We're going to play the low E string first, then a pinch on the G and B strings, 1 E and then we're going to do another pinch, but we're going to edit the chord. We're going to lift off that 3rd fret, lift off your pinky, and just play the straight E minor. We're going to pick the D, the G, and the B strings. So 1 E and a 2 and 3, and we'll do the rest in between. 1 E and a 2 and 3, and then we'll play the low E string, index on the G string, back to the low E string. And then the last measure is a C chord. It sounds like this. We've got a little pull-off in this measure. We're going to start out on the C chord, and we're going to pick the root note on the A string with our thumb, and then we're going to pick the G and the B strings again, 1 E and we'll rest, and then we're going to pinch the D, the G, and the B strings. So 1 E and a 2 and 3. Then on the and a 3, we'll come back to the root note on the A string, and we'll do a pull-off. We're going to pick the B string with our middle finger, and that 1st finger is going to pull off of our fretting hand. And then we'll finish with an open G string. So that measure sounds like this. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and and then we start again. So here's the E minor 7 and the C measures together. So here's all 4 bars played together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go back and repeat those 4 bars for the whole song. When we end, we're just going to end on that G root note. Here's what that sounds like, repeated and then ending on the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. It really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Make sure you're subscribed. We've got new guitar lesson videos dropping every week. We've also got tips, gear reviews, and covers as well, so check those out. If you want to get a free PDF all about soloing, you can click the link below and get that as my gift to you. Thanks for your support. Have fun practicing. We'll see you in the next one.